When was the last time you had an actual original thought? Like one that was actually yours, not something you've taken from a book or taken from some social media influencer on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. When was the last time you actually had a thought that came from your brain? In fact, while we're on that topic, like where do thoughts even come from to begin with? Have you ever thought about that? And a slight pun there, I think. Like the self-improvement space has changed a lot in the last 3, 4 years. I've been in this since like my kind of early 20s, and it's come a long way. Like it used to be super wholesome stuff about meditation, about gratitude journaling, but these days it seems like that's changed. It seems like it's become about status signaling and getting external validation from other people, right? On both sides of the extreme, you've got the looks maxing people, but it's just chasing external validation, right? And then you've got the people who are like in the gym 24/7, and they're hustling and they're waking up at 5 a.m. and they're smoking cigars. And again, it's just performative. Like it's all performative. It's we've gone so far, we've strayed so far from the actual origins of this movement. And we've come so far from what actually made it good to begin with. And I think that sucks. It really sucks. What's happened, right? What has happened? Let's observe that. Let's zoom out. Essentially, what's happened is people have realized the power that is in that pain of young people who are not where they want to be in life, and they want to change things and they want to improve. They've taken that pain, and companies and influencers have monetized it. That's what's happened. So you got these big influencers that came along kind of post 2019 era, when everyone was vulnerable and looking to advance their life and really just like sick of where they were in general. And they started selling courses, they started building these massive social media channels to get clout, Instagram followings. And then also these companies have started doing the same thing, right? They chase the trends, they follow the trends, they give these people sponsorships. They've been doing it for all of time, right? Go back in history and just look at any example of any kind of company who's basically just jumped on a trend, or like is completely apolitical and amoral and just doesn't care. They're just chasing profits, right? Which, I'm a capitalist. There's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but to just blindly follow these trends and to take them as your own, to take them as if they're your own thoughts and your own goals and your own opinions, is a massive mistake for you as an individual, right? It didn't used to be like this. Like when the self-improvement, when it was first started to become popular online, and like started getting these, early stage bloggers like people like Hamza and stuff like that, right? 3, 4 years ago, it was kind of wholesome, right? It was just all about being happy with your situation, living in the present. Now it's so outcome focused. Everyone is just obsessed with appearances. Everyone's obsessed with social media and this online space that didn't work. Like what happened to this like touch grass movement? What happened to the genuine self-improvement that was about making your life better rather than just trying to sell the next thing? The problem with this, and like the reason why this works, is that your emotional energy that you get from having a pain point in your life, it is a genuine energy that exists in this world. And if you're not careful and you don't choose to channel it yourself, it will be co-opted by organizations, it will be co-opted by companies, and it will be co-opted by other people who will use it to control you. So you've got to be very careful with this energy. And there's this concept in psychology called the madness of crowds. And what this concept tries to explain is that energy left unattended to will build up in a group and it will amplify. So you see this a lot. This is basically what creates polar extremes in life. So you see this in politics, you see this in the economy and in trends, and especially on social media. So what happens is, if there is a genuine need there, someone can come in and they can make a statement about why that thing exists. So if people are unhappy, or if you're unhappy about the economy and you don't have money, or you're unhappy because you're lonely and you don't have a partner or something like that, all it takes is for someone to come in and make a statement as to why that is the case. And so you see this with a lot of influencers in 2020, like your Andrew Tates of the world and all that kind of stuff. So they will say, it's because you're in the matrix. That will then cotton on. People will start to follow that. And as the conviction increases, and as the critical thinking and individual thinking goes down, and as the collectivism increases, it just snowballs until it hits a peak where it just becomes so ridiculous, right? All of this like cigar smoking and like having 6 different wives and stuff. It hits a point of ridiculousness where someone else will come along and they will critique that. And they'll say, oh, come on, like, look at that. That's so ridiculous. Come over here. Come over to my bullshit story and join my narrative. And then it will go down, and then it will eventually trend to the extreme in the opposite direction. So this is the madness of crowds. And we live in a society. We live in a society where we're constantly swinging back and forth. And the only reason we're doing that is because people refuse to think for themselves. Thinking for yourselves is tiring. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of focus. But if you don't do it, you'll just fall into the hands of other people. You'll be manipulated, and your unconscious motivations will channel into their conscious plan. So the only way out of this is to think for yourself. It's to look at these people, look at what they're trying to peddle, look at what they're trying to grift, look at what they have to get out of this, and to refuse to buy their snake oil on either ends, right? And this isn't a political message, right? It's not a left-wing, right-wing thing. I'm not a looks maxing guy. I'm not a gym maxing. I couldn't care less, right? It's not about that. It's not that those are problematic or that those are bad, even. It's just pointing out the danger of extremity. And if you go too far in one direction, you're going to be wrong either way. So the only way forward really is to start to think for yourself, right? Don't be used by corporations. Don't be used by social media influencers for their Instagram clout. Ask yourself, are the opinions that you hold and the goals that you hold right now genuinely yours? Or are you, again, a victim of the madness of crowds? So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.